Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? We want to welcome you to Breakfast with the Greenes.
Good morning, good morning.
We're your hosts. I'm James Greene.
And I am Cynthia Greene. Oh, we went live on YouTube on our television. Oh my God, how funny is that? Oh, so you brought up the live. That is funny. Please forgive us. So you guys, you can go over to YouTube to see all the great information we have on our Marriage Built to Last YouTube page.
And we just had YouTube on our television. But anyway, we want to welcome you. I'm James Greene.
And I'm Cynthia Greene, and we are founders of Marriage Built to Last, and we are
America's favorite couple. So we welcome you to this great, beautiful Saturday morning. It doesn't matter how the weather is outside, but I always look at it as long as I have breath in my body, as long as I'm able to wake up, that it's a beautiful day, that it's a gorgeous day, because we know there's alternatives where some people didn't. So, it is so blessed to be here, and I'm so blessed to wake up. I'm so thankful. Let's just say that. We have a lot to be thankful for, but I am thankful each and every day that I'm in this situation, I'm in this position. So we're going to welcome you. And before we get started, we always like to say, share this out. Because as you can see at the bottom of the screen, if you're looking, this whole year, we're going to be talking about the confident couple. We talked about vision. We talked about purpose. We talked about goals. We talked about power couples. So this whole year theme is the confident couple. So we ask you to go to the bottom of the screen and share it out. Because we know there's people, even if you're not a couple, you need to be confident in yourself. You need to be confident in you. And we're going to be talking about a lot about evolve. We're going to talk about a whole lot of things. So all you have to do is go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button. What else you could do is start a watch party. Because the best way to pass information is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
People want to know what you're watching. People want to know what you're doing. People want to know where you're going. Why do you think on all these social medias, you see people's live pictures and comments filled out of their whole life of what they've been doing? That's the day and age that we're in. So why not start a watch party and people can watch what you're watching. People can see what you're doing. See what you're looking at. See what you're interested in. See what gets to you. See what makes you do the things you do, why you're driven, why your determination. People want to know what you're watching. Mm-hmm. So you could start a watch party, or you could just simply go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button and share this out.
So I got a question for y'all this morning. What are y'all doing on this Saturday? James and we woke up this morning and I was like, what are we doing today? He was like,
nothing.
I don't know. What are we doing today? And he's like, you don't have nothing to do? I'm like, no. I was like, you don't have nothing to do? He was like, no.
So what we did was we decided to start a project because, we just recently moved a couple months ago, and we still have a whole lot of boxes in our basement. So I said, why don't we do a project and go through the boxes?
I suggested that.
Okay,
I suggested that.
I can't take the credit.
You sure
so she suggested that we put up the shelves and go through the boxes and put the things on the shelves and empty out some of the boxes and some of the tubs we have in the basement.
Yep. So that's what we're going to be doing.
So that's what we'll probably be doing today.
Yeah, that's going to be fun because I love organizing. And Lord knows I've forgotten what's in all those boxes. We probably could get rid of some of that.
And there's certain things that we're looking for, certain documentation that are in the boxes.
And other things.
And we need to actually find them to, as I say, evolve.
Yeah, so we're still evolving too, right? So you guys, today we, like James said, all month long, we've been talking about the purpose-filled couple. Mm-hmm. And so we start out with talking about how your core values, when you come together and discuss your core values, it helps you to create a vision for your marriage, and which can lead to you knowing the purpose for why God put the two of you together, which then helps you to write true smart goals to help you accomplish the things that He's put you on this earth to do together. So today we're taking it a step even further.
Well, we took it a step further before because we talked about the power couples. When she says power couple, vision and goals, she's talking about vision and goals. But what about the power couple? Why is it a power couple? Because when two are together, you're stronger than just one. When two come into agreement, that makes you more powerful.
Yeah.
And as we talk about, powerful couples as powerful questions, and those questions steer your focus. So we ask you, what were you focusing on? What are the two of you together doing to make sure that it steers your focus in the right direction to build your relationship, to build, your marriage or your relationship stronger? We talked about the two of you growing together. You know, Cynthia, like she said, she talked about setting goals. You know, she talked about your vision. You know, and as a couple, you need to have that to make sure you're going in the right direction together. Not just separately, together. And we always say, and this leads into a good segue about evolving, because we always say sometimes your goals and your vision changes as you evolve. Because when you were younger, you may think, okay, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a professional sports player. But as you get older, you realize that may not be your goal, and you have to steer your focus to another direction, or maybe what you want your career to be. So as you get older, things evolve, things change.
That's right. So let's just talk about the definition of evolve. The definition of evolve is to develop gradually, which is especially means moving from a simple form to a more complex form. So as we were talking about what we were going to be discussing today, we thought about how as a couple, when you get married, your life is kind of simplified, but as time goes on, it gets more complex. You know, you both are balancing your jobs, or you're stay-at-home mom or dad, and you're balancing kids once they come along, you're balancing your work in the community, you're balancing church and your hobbies and spending time together. Like, your life becomes more complex.
And as we talk about, even when we used to talk about date night, sometimes things just become more difficult as time goes on, especially if you go from single to being married. I mean, children, bills, the home. You know, before the pandemic, you may say, well, okay, well, I have to take him to Little League football practice. I got to take her to dance or cheerleading. You know, you're running around being an Uber driver. You know what I'm saying? Things just become more complex as time goes on and as you get older, as life happens.
But when you are the confident couple,
that's right,
and you've gone through all those processes that we've talked about the past 3 weeks, then you have found your purpose. And so as an evolving couple or an evolved couples, you know your purpose. And so you are more on a more guided path. Like, you can see the vision, you can see the goals that you're aiming for. And so you're more confident in who you are and what you're called to do and called to be. So you
go ahead.
So you feel like you're on a path of success. And so you're more fired up, you're more powered, you're more, like I said, more confident that you're going down the right road to accomplishing the thing. Because one thing we know, that God wants us to have everything that He has called for us to have. Right. He wants even more than we can think or imagine.
Right.
He has so much more for us.
Right. And you know, and as you evolve, it's more than just a belief. You know, and you say, well, here's what I want to do, and I believe it will happen. But when you evolve, it's more than just belief. It's actually a spiritual confirmation. Because, you know, a lot of times you may say, you know, this is what I want to do. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Cynthia told me we would be doing something with marriage when we get married. And, you know, for me, that was just a belief. Okay, she believes that. I don't really know. But as time went on, we got more spiritual confirmation from our bishop, from being over the marriage ministry. And I'm thinking, okay, now it is just more than a belief that I believe it will happen. It was actually a spiritual confirmation. And let me tell you something. And when that confirmation comes and you are aligned with your highest self, that you know that this is what I was put here to do, you know, it manifests in life. And it's how you were meant to live. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because you know that, okay, let's start. I believe it. Wow, now I have confirmation. Now it's becoming manifested. Now I know without a shadow of a doubt, but this is how it was meant to be. This is how I was meant to live.
Right, because a confident couple has like this conscious mindset. Like, you know that this is like James. I mean, we can only use ourselves as an example.
Exactly.
So like, we know this is what we're supposed to be doing. We know that this is what we're called to be. So we're more conscious and more intentional about the things that we're doing in life. Right. Not that everything is centered around our business, but we're more conscious minded. We're more self-aware. We're more couples aware. We're more aware of where we're going in life and what we are supposed to be doing in life.
Right. And that was so good, baby, because when you have that awakening, you know, you can't go back to the way you were. You can't go back to the way things used to be. You know, you probably used to do things a certain way, but once you evolve, you can't go back to that way. Come on, how many times you know that, okay, I was gonna give you an example, but maybe it's not a good example. How? No, I'm just saying how. Say you've done something in the past, and you may have paid the price for it, and you know you can't go back to that way of life.
Oh, well,
you know?
talking about your own personal experience.
Yeah,
That's
you
fine.
can't go back to.
Y'all, he got a really interesting past.
And you can't go back to doing the things that you used to do because you evolve.
You can't.
I mean, sometimes you can, but when you.
No, I'm just thinking about you. I'm
Right.
just referring to you. I'm just joking. I'm just getting you.
But the thing is that if you do, then all those old habits and all those old issues will come back up.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want them. So if you don't want that to happen, why not evolve? Because you've changed.
That's right.
You know, you can't go back to that. And when you dive deeper into your personal growth, you see evidence that you evolve. You see evidence that you change.
So anybody watching today feel like you have evolved? Like, and I have to share this with you guys. Now, evolve is the word that God gave me for 2021. And when I got that word, I had to go do my research on it, and I started looking it up and just, searching myself and meditating and praying. And I really feel like I have evolved, but like this year, 2021, I'm just evolving more. I'm evolving as a person. Our business is evolving because all those pieces that we have in our business are complex. And so all of those complexities, we're going to be expanding in all of those complex forms to really expand the business and to really see it get to where God wants it to be, because it's not going to be where we want it to be. It's going to be where God wants it to be. So today we want to share with you 5 things when you know you are an evolved couple.
Right, because a couple that's evolved is a couple that's achieved their identity. Like he knows who he is, she knows who she is, and you know who the two of you are together.
Yes. Go ahead, say that, babe.
You know who you are, she knows who she is, and you know who the two of you are together. That is a couple that's evolved. That is someone that knows their identity.
And
you hear people say, let me tell you something, I know who I am.
There you go. And they know what they want.
Right.
So all those steps we talked about led them to knowing what they want. They know what they're I tell people, know what you want, right? And go after it. So they know what they want and they're going after it. That's why they're confident, because they know what they want. They feel like they're where they're supposed to be, like right now. They're not where they're gonna be at the end, but they know right now where they are. They're where they're supposed to be. I feel like that about us. Like we're right where we are supposed to be in life right about now.
And I like it because when you think of that, you think of that your life was set up on your own terms.
There you go.
You did it your way. You where you're supposed to be, and you did it the way you wanted to do it. You did it on your own terms.
There you go.
That's how you know it's a confident couple, because you're confident because you know you did it your way. And people may judge you, people may hate on you because how you did it, but you are where you're supposed to be, and you did it on your own terms. And then once you did it on your own terms, you believe that you're in control of your outcome and your life.
And let's just say this. Now, we know that God is the one who's totally in control, but we're just talking about us as human beings being confident in who we are and what we're called to do and be. And so we are in control of the outcomes of our lives because we're focused on them. So we know what we're working towards. And so that's what James is saying.
Right. And then if you want to talk about the put the God in it, and God will give you the desires of your heart to do things. He will give you the tools, doesn't he? He will give you the tools to succeed. And God gives you he allows you to make the decision. He'll put in front of you, and you can make a decision to go left or to go right, right? Mm-hmm. He'll give you he'll give you say, okay, here you go. It's your decision to make. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of you choosing the right decision. And that's what I like, because the things you do every day, once you evolve, you're creating your future. We talk about leaving a legacy for your children, children. You're creating that when you do it on your own terms. You're creating that when you evolve.
So the second thing that happens when you are a confident couple is that your life becomes more simplified or more purposeful, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I thought about simplified, I'm like, you know what? I feel like our life is more simplified now, because we are in our final home, like we don't plan to move again. You know, our careers are solidified, our business path is solidified, like our life is simplified, but it's also more purposeful because we know what it is that God has called us to do, and we're walking on that path. Now, we don't know everything or how it's going to manifest and what's the end results are totally going to be, but our life is more purposeful.
Right.
Because we work through all of those things that we've been talking about all month.
And I like it because when you evolve, and you know, we talked about vision and purpose, and you set them goals, your goals become manifested quicker. Because you know, like we said in number one, you're on the right path. You set on your own terms. So when you do it that way, your goals become manifest quicker.
And that's also because when your life is purposeful and you have goals, a confident couple, they pray every day, they meditate, they ponder over what they what they're going to do, and they just really take the time to slow down and think about all of those goals and that purpose, so that they stay focused.
Right. And I like that, baby, because when you stay focused, you have an expectation. And you expect miracles to happen. You expect those things. You expect the unexpected.
There you go.
You expect spectacular things to happen. And I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about often, not just one time. But you expect it all the time.
And that's so true, because our God is a big God. And he said he would, that we would prosper in our health, in all things, even in our health. And so he wants us to prosper in every area of our life. And so when you are goal focused and you're living a purposeful life, James is right. You expect spectacular things to happen. That's, you know, everybody's talking about this mindfulness and mindset and all of that. That's what they're talking about. You have to have a mindset of expectation. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You're just allowing yourself to just accept life as it is. And just humdrum,
and the thing is when you pray and meditate on it every day, you expect it to happen.
Right.
If you don't, you're saying, well, I just hope it happens, or I hope things work out, and I hope this what happens. But when you evolve, when you talk about the things we're talking about, when you think about the things we're talking about now, it ain't saying, well, I just hope it happens, and you expect it to happen. You hear me? You expect it to be that way. You expect manifestation. And that's what I like about it, because when you evolve to that point and you doing things on your own terms and set your own path, and you expect things to happen quickly, it's an expectation that you have. You know, sometimes you may say, well, you know, I don't know. No, you expect it. Well, this is going to happen. You know, it's like speaking it into existence. It's like putting it out in the atmosphere, not thinking, well, I hope it happens. No, it's like, you know what? I know this is going to happen. Baby, I know it's going to work for us. I know this is how it's going to work.
Expectations, yes. Yep. So number 3 is when you are a confident couple, right? And we're talking about, you know your purpose, you know your goals, but guess what? You also seek growth, because you can't just stay where you are. You don't know everything. So you seek growth, you seek transformation, you're not afraid of change. And so what does that mean? Like, when you are a confident couple, you still might need a coach. You still need a mentor. You still need to take some type of workshop and training and improve and excel on your skills. You can't just stay where you are. You're always moving forward. And I don't mean seeking more like you want more stuff, but you're seeking more to fully come into who you're called to be and fully have the skills, the gift, the knowledge to do the things that you are called to do. Sorry about that, you guys.
And I like what she's saying, because when you feel that way, you don't mind taking risks. You actually find joy in taking risks. You find joy in stepping out on faith, taking those leaps of faith, because you know that you're confident. As a confident couple, you don't mind doing those things, because you know you set things up. You know you're on the right path. You know everything is on your terms. You know you done prayed about it. You're expecting it. So if you're expecting, you have no problem stepping out, taking that leap of faith. You have no problem in taking those risks, because you know I can take a risk I can't fail. And even if it doesn't happen,
well,
it doesn't.
Risk takers are money makers.
That's right.
Didn't we learn that? Risk takers are money makers,
Right.
you guys. You can't do the status quo and expect to change the world. You can't do the status quo and expect to achieve your greatest dream. Right. You got to be willing to look further and do more.
And let me give you an example. I remember when I was living in another state and Cynthia and I wasn't married, right? And I came to visit her, and I ended up going to the church, and the pastor was preaching about
he went to church with me.
Yes, preaching about stepping out on faith, taking that leap of faith. I was confident in myself. And this is what we're talking about. I was so confident in myself and talking about those leaps of faith, stepping out on faith and taking a risk. I went back to where I was living, which was actually in Cleveland, Ohio at the time. I quit my job and moved here to Maryland. And I didn't even have a job here in Maryland. That's how I was confident, how I had an expectation, and I knew things were work. I knew things were happening. I found joy in it because I knew what I wanted. You know, so taking that risk, you know, that joy and taking risks, taking that leap of faith, it didn't bother me. I said, okay, I'll get a job. I didn't worry about it because I have evolved and I was confident in who I am.
So the fourth thing that happens when you are a confident couple, you start to notice the truth in everything. Like no longer are you looking for the negative, you're looking for truth. And when we say truth, we're talking about the real word, the real what God wants. You notice you know, how it aligns up with God's word and how it aligns up with your purpose and your vision and your dreams and your higher calling and your walk with God. You start to notice that in your relationships, and especially in your relationships. You notice it in the places you go. You notice it in the people you hang around. You notice it in the things that you do. And, you know, it makes me think about, you know, when they was talking, when I was doing my research and I was praying and meditating over this, and it was saying you notice the truth in relationships. And I started thinking about movies that James and I watch. And so we could be watching a movie and we'll be like, look at them, how they're acting. See, they could have fixed that if they had just da 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 da. If they had, you know, if they knew to do da 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 da, you know, they wouldn't be arguing every day if they just sat down and talked. And then we'll be in restaurants and we'll see couples, you know, sitting far apart and they both on their phone and doing something other than looking at each other and talking to each other and laughing and joking. And we'll be like, you know, they don't look like they have a very close relationship. No, we're not judging. It's just observation. But you know, when you are a confident couple, you see the truth in everything because you've done your research. You know your vision, you know your purpose, you know your goals, you know where direction you're heading in. And so you know you can recognize things that be not as though that things that are not as they're supposed to be.
That's right. And I like it because when you evolve and now you're confident and you did it on your own terms, you start seeing a gap between you and the people you used to associate with. Yep. Come on, you know how a lot of times you grow and you may have outgrown your friends. You know, you'll start seeing that. You'll see the gap between you and those you should associate with. And then, you know, you don't compare yourself now. Remember how when you were young, like, wow, look at them. I'd like to be like that one day. You know, you start comparing yourself to them. Right, I wish I had what they had. Or, man, how did they get that? I like to get
Keeping up with the Joneses, they used to call it.
That's good. Keep up with the Joneses. But that's what you used to do.
A confident couple does not compare themselves with anybody. You know, people used to tell me that I was confident, and I didn't necessarily feel confident. And I remember somebody asked me something about it, and I said, you know what? I've just never compared myself to anybody. I don't want what anybody else has. You know, my mother raised me to be very confident. She actually raised me to say, you can be anything you want to be.
Now, you know, it's funny. I think what my mother used to tell me, if you don't have confidence in yourself, no one's going to have confidence in you.
He's told me that many times over the years. That's what my mama used to say.
Because she used to think I was cocky. And I said, no, it ain't cocky. It's confidence.
Your mama or me?
Me.
No, who your mama?
You used to think I was cocky.
I still think he's cocky.
No, it's confidence. I'm confident in who I am. Come on now. I'm confident in how my path is, how I did on my own terms. Like we're all talking about. So you shouldn't be cocky.
He's right. Okay, I accept that.
And let me tell you something. When you start looking at the gap between you and the people you used to hang around with, you'll start attracting the right people in your life.
That's right.
The right people as to where you're going or to where you are.
And y'all, that's so true. And you know, I talked about this on a broadcast the other night when I was speaking, and I gave the example of my son. So I sometimes I ask my son how's his friends doing. He'll say, "Oh, they're doing okay," and how's their mother? They're doing this, they're doing that. And he says, "Mom, I really don't talk to them like that anymore." He says because you know a lot of people that I grew up with are doing the same things they were doing when we were in high school. He said, "Mom, I can't be." You know, I got bigger things to do in life. Not that he's better than them or anything like that. He's like, I love my friends, but you know, I got to keep moving. You know, I need to hang around people who are trying to do some things in life, who are doing some things in life. And guess what? Because of that, he's connected with like some people that are really helping him in his career. You know, he has like probably 19, 20 platinum records that he's worked on.
And that's the thing is, he's attracting those people.
He is.
He sees the gap between him and the people he's associated with, and he's attracting more people to where he's going and where he wants to be.
He has attracted so much of the right people that, and I don't know anything about these companies and things. I'm not going to throw names out there, but this company now has a camera crew following him around to like chronicle his life and what he's doing in his career. Like he's really moving up the ranks in his career, and he's a music producer and engineer and all of that. And so he's attracted people see what he's doing and they want to know more. They want to get to know him more. I'm like, wow, son, that is amazing. He is doing it. So you're right. He's attracted the right people around him. And it does not mean that you can't be friends with your friends, but you cannot, you know, they say you're a reflection of your 5 closest people you hang around.
Your Fab Five.
Your Fab Five.
As I call it.
So we always tell people, look in your phone. Who do you talk to the most?
Who are the people you hang around?
Yeah, who do you hang around the most? Who do you go out to dinner with? Who do you go to events with?
Are you evolving?
Are they evolving?
Right.
Are they evolving? If you're not hanging around the right people, we want to encourage you to get around the right people. And I wasn't planning to give this plug, but James and I, we have an academy called the In Love and Loving It Academy. It is for totally confident couples. This is not an academy or a program for couples whose marriage is broke down, towed down from the flow up. Yes, we help those types of couples, but the In Love and Loving It is for couples who are in love and they're loving it. They love their spouse. They're loving life. They're loving what they're doing. And so you get in here and you're around other confident couples who are doing things in life. And we talk about all kinds of fun things, you know, but we do homework too. We have date night assignments. We have other assignments that we have. You know, we have movie of the month, song of the month, scripture of the month, book of the month. We do a lot of things in the In Love and Loving It Academy. So if you want more information about that, go over to our website. You can find out more. But I wasn't planning to do that plug, but you know, we're talking about the totally confident couple. But one thing we do have for you that you might be interested in is next week we have a masterclass called Going From I Do to We Do. Now this is going to really help you become a more confident couple. Right. You know, it's a 1 hour and a half master class. Y'all, it's only $19.99, so it's not expensive. But if you really want to learn more about being a stronger we, which helps you to be that confident couple, you want to be in our masterclass next week. Next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Again, you can go over to our website. There's a link on there that says We Do. Or you can go to marriagebuilttolast.com/we-do.
And that's
W-E-D-O.
And that's the key, because you stop thinking of yourself and more think about the two of you. You know, you stop thinking about what you have to do to elevate your marriage and to evolve as a couple, and you start thinking about what the two of you have to do to evolve as a couple. What do we have to do to grow? What do we have to do to attract the right people around you?
That's right. So the fifth thing that happens when you are a totally confident couple, you're more concerned about others. It sounds like we've just been concerned about ourselves, but no, in the whole scheme of things, you really care about the well-being of other people. And I think about James and I. Boy, when we get to talking about somebody who's having trouble in their marriage, or we hear about somebody talking about breaking up, even in a movie, we see somebody say they're getting a divorce, we get all passionate about it. We have a conversation about it. We're like, no, you can work it out. There's so many things that you can do. It's the couples who work through did y'all know this? It's the couples who work through their issues and get on the other side. Those are the ones who have the great relationship. You think they got a great relationship because their life and their marriage has been hunky-dory, wonderful, just perfect the whole time they've been married? No, They have an amazing marriage and a successful marriage because they've been through some things, you guys. So confident couples, they care about the well-being of others. They care about the well-being of their spouse. They don't put themselves, you put yourself first when it comes to taking care of yourself. But I'm saying they don't put themselves first. They think about the well-being of their spouse, the well-being of their clients or customers, their co-workers, their family, their kids, whatever. You know, they are truly think less. They really think about others.
Right. And I like it because they care less about what people think of them.
That's right.
They could care less because, you know, when people see Cynthia and I, and some people will talk, somebody say, even though people that we met that we didn't know before, they'll say, I thought y'all were just putting on a show the way y'all act like that.
I used to hear that all the
and
time.
you know, and I'm thinking putting on a show, and then they realize, wow, that's who you guys really are. But when they first said that, you think we care? I could care less about people would think of me or think of us.
Because all it made us think was that, wow, people really don't think anybody has a good marriage. And that's crazy.
Right.
There's a lot of people who have great marriages.
And for me, I think it started even when I was younger. Because I know growing up, people say, you hanging around that Jimmy Greene? Oh my God, you should. And my thing was, I don't care. I could care less about you. You don't want to hang around me? Don't be around me. I don't care. But I do care about what we talk about. I do care about couples. We do care about couples' well-being. You know, people's marriage growing. Because you know, people staying together. And that's what Marriage Built to Last is about. It's about eradicating divorce. It's about helping couples stay together. Right. It's about decreasing that divorce rate. Because now it's what, 51%, 50%, whatever the case may be. We want to try to get it down to under 50%. How's that? Right. Try to get it down to 30%.
And ultimately, y'all, we really do want the best for others. We want to see your marriage win. Right. We want to see you have the most successful, happy, prosperous marriage that a couple can have. Right. And that's what we're here for. That's why we do these broadcasts every Saturday. It doesn't cost you anything to watch us. It doesn't cost us anything but our time. And time is something you can't get back.
That's right. And here's what I like. Evolved couples, the confident couple, they can change the world.
Oh, my God.
And think of this for a minute.
Oh, wait. Say that again. Say evolved couples.
Evolved couples can change the world. And you probably say, how can I change the world? Think about it first. Evolved couples change their relationship. They change their household, which can change the community.
Change the people around them.
Change the people around them, which could change the community. And the community can change society. And don't tell me society can't change the world, because it can.
Yes. You never know what event in your life is going to have an effect on other people. You never know how it's going to affect your household. And we want you to be happy, whole, and healthy.
Right. And then, and if you're that confident couple, if you don't evolve, just think, you live happier. Mm-hmm. You know, it's less
more
stress.
Simpler.
Yes, it's the simple life, because you
more productive lives.
You put in all that work.
Yeah.
And now the things you do are way more productive. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't travel down that path. You created, like we said earlier, on your own terms. So everything you do is more productive.
And when I think about living a more simpler life, y'all, that simply means like you're not arguing all the time, you're not fussing, you're not stressed out. When situations come up, you know how to deal with them and work through them. You're just totally confident. Mm-hmm. So you're able to handle it better. Don't you want a more simplified life? Don't you want to be a more confident couple?
Because just think, when you're that confident couple and you've evolved, you're becoming that person that you were meant to be. You know, not only the person you meant to be, the couple that you were truly meant to be.
Yes, yes.
You have your purpose. You have your vision. You've evolved. You've got the right people around you. Mm-hmm. You're happier. Life is simpler. And everything you do is more productive. And now you're the person, the couple that you were truly meant to be, that God meant you to be.
That totally confident couple. You guys, register for the From I Do to We Do Masterclass. It's next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Go to www.marriagebuilttolast.com/WE-DO. We-DO. You guys, we're talking about how, I love the way James explains it, about when a couple walks away from the altar wondering
where their focus is.
what they just said, I do. So their focus is, what do I have to do to make this marriage work? But we teach couples to think, what do we have to do to make sure we have an awesome and amazing marriage?
Because a lot of people may think, baby, that, okay, now I can make this marriage work. You know, I could put in the work. I could have a great marriage if I put in the work, if I do it. But what about the other party? You haven't talked to them about it?
What do we have? What can we do to work together?
Just think, it's not about just you. It was about you when you were single. You're not single anymore.
That's right.
So it's not all about you. It's about how the other person feels. It's about what the other person's thinking. It's about the other person's goals, their desires, their dreams, their vision. So it's a matter of the two of you coming together as a stronger we and knowing what the two of you have to do to grow together.
Yes. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We pray that this has helped you in some way. You know,
and we ask you to share it out because people need to learn how to evolve.
Yeah, even if you're watching the replay, this message is for somebody who are right at the pinnacle, right at the edge of figuring out what they're called to do, their purpose, or they figured it out. And now they're going to find out how to totally walk into being that confident couple that they were called to be so they can accomplish all that they were meant to do, be, and have.
Like I say, walk into a greater we.
Yes. So thank you guys for joining us today. This is, we'll be signing out now. Go work on our project. And remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you guys. We love you so much. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.